Hello class, this is Becky Lyons and I'm going to be talking to you about my dad. His name is Norman Dale Estes. Most people didn't even know that his name was Norman. He was born on March 27th, 1934 at Hastings, Missouri. When my dad was growing up, he had to be a hard worker. There were several kids in the family and they had to work hard to make a living. My dad only had like a 6th grade education, and he wished that he would have had a high school education. My dad could not read or write. From when I was a little girl, we would always have to help my dad on reading and writing, and my dad would make a list, and on this list he would write words down that he knew that he was going to have to know his entire life. And when my dad passed away, he probably had 150 words on that piece of paper, and he knew how to spell every word, and he knew what every word was. But he had 4 wonderful children that helped him a lot, and our wonderful mom. My dad married my mom, Susan Nelma Bird, on May 27th, 1959, and in March of 1960, my brother was born, and that was my dad's one and only son. When him and my mom got married, they decided they wanted 14 boys. They had 1 boy and 3 girls, and they gave up. Anyway, in 1961, I was born. And then in 62, my sister was born, and then in 63, my youngest sister was born. We're just a stair step from each other. We were raised in the Bristow and Edwards area our whole life. My dad worked on the missiles and building cyclones, and he traveled all over, and he used to go to Wyoming a lot when we were a kid and work. Then my dad, he had dump trucks, he had wreckers, he made himself a gravel screener, and he was always hauling gravel and dirt and you name it. My dad was always doing it. And we cut wood from the time we were little bitty kids. My dad had us out in the woods cutting wood and selling wood just to make a living. And I think that's why when we all growed up, we were such hard workers that we wanted one really good job, and most of us have done that. But right now I'm being the slacker, but I've worked my whole entire life since I was 12 years old. But I go to school and I work 2 jobs now, so I guess that counts that I do work hard. Back in 1991, my dad came down with cancer. He had lung and lymph node, and then my dad was messing around with the baby calf, and he hooked the hoof with his cane, not thinking that the baby calf would pull him down, and my dad got a compression fracture in his back. And then they had to put a morphine pump in, and my dad passed away 7 days after they done that. But my dad, I'm not going to stand here and tell you my dad was perfect. My dad was not. We had a rough life, but my dad done his best. He was a very wonderful dad. I love my dad more than anything. My dad passed away with this cancer on June the 4th, 1993. He had just celebrated being married 34 years to our mom. And then 1 week later he passed away. Anyway, my dad was he was such a hard worker. He worked his whole entire life, and he could not wait to turn 65 to retire, and my dad didn't make it. He just barely made it to 59. I love my dad. It's hard to go to the graveyard and talk to my dad, because I love my dad so dearly, and it is so hard to talk about. I appreciate you listening to me. Thank you.